Understanding the appeal of retro games. Retro games, with their pixelated graphics and simple mechanics, hold a timeless charm. Their straightforward gameplay and nostalgic appeal connect players to a simpler era of gaming. Many of today's game mechanics are built on the foundations these games established, making them a crucial part of gaming history. Recognizing their innovative design. Though technically limited, retro games were groundbreaking in design. They pushed the boundaries of hardware at the time, introducing creative solutions to technical constraints. Games like Super Mario Bros. And Tetris revolutionized platforming and puzzle genres, setting the standard for future titles. Simplicity that focuses on gameplay. Retro games focused on core gameplay mechanics rather than elaborate storylines or visuals. Their simplicity often meant more immediate player engagement, with a focus on skill and precision. This gameplay-first approach made retro games highly replayable, as players aimed to master their controls and challenges. The role of music in retro gaming. Iconic chiptune soundtracks played a major role in retro games. Despite limited audio capabilities, composers created memorable and catchy tunes that are still recognized today. The music enhanced the atmosphere and often became intertwined with the identity of the game, evoking strong nostalgia. How retro games influenced modern titles. Modern games often draw inspiration from retro titles in their mechanics and aesthetics. Indie games, in particular, frequently adopt pixel art or minimalist gameplay, paying homage to the classics. Many modern genres, from platformers to RPGs, trace their roots to retro game design. Appreciating the difficulty curve. Retro games were notoriously difficult, requiring patience and perseverance. Their steep learning curves tested players' abilities, creating a sense of accomplishment when they were mastered. This emphasis on challenge influenced how difficulty is approached in modern game design, especially in titles like Dark Souls. The role of retro consoles in gaming culture. Classic consoles like the NES, Sega Genesis, and Atari 2600 defined entire gaming generations. These consoles introduced players to iconic franchises and created communities that still thrive today. Understanding the cultural significance helps us appreciate the evolution of the gaming industry. Preserving retro games for future generations. Emulation and game preservation efforts have allowed retro games to be accessible to new audiences. While original hardware may be rare, digital re-releases and classic collections help keep these titles alive. Preserving retro games is essential to maintaining gaming's rich history, nostalgia and its emotional connection. For many, retro games evoke powerful nostalgia. Playing these games often recalls childhood memories of arcade visits or hours spent mastering levels. This emotional connection explains why retro gaming remains popular, as players return to these beloved titles time and again. The ongoing legacy of retro games. Retro games continue to influence modern game design, both mechanically and aesthetically. Their lasting impact on gaming culture is undeniable, with many classic titles being celebrated for their innovation and charm. Appreciating retro games helps us better understand where modern gaming originated.